blood on my jeans.
Good morning everyone, welcome back to Soloreins. Sorry it's been so long since I put my last video out, in a couple of weeks now. It's been rather a stressful couple of weeks, and Miley has come down with laminitis, and so I've been busy trying to sort that out, and I had to move the mares back down the bottom because of Toffee. Here on guys. I'll get that off you now, Mia. You're gonna have 24 hours with it off, as long as you're sound. Check your pulse now. And you find the end. Right, I got it. We got it. Big whole net today. Isn't it? Yeah. Alright, Mia, how are you doing? Now don't leg it. There's no point legging it because you have actually got the muzzle on. Good girl. I'll give you a nut now. Hang on, baby. I just want to check for a pulse. You seem to be okay. Your neck's getting a bit softer. Okay, good girl. Well done, you. Yeah, that's definitely softening up a bit. So this is working. 24 hours on, 24 hours off. We might have to do that with Miley when he's back on his feet again. You want some nuts, Coke? Cookies. And some nuts, babes. And some nuts. Good girl. And you go. You good girl. Do you want a couple? You are, baby. There you go, sweetie. Good girl. You're so good. Yes, you are. Can I have a little stroke? Good girl. She's such a good girl. Yes, she is. So it's all been a bit manic, to say the least. So I've had Miley now about 2.5 years, and in the summer I've always strip grazed him in the past. He's 15 now, just turned 15. He's Connemara gelding, which is a native breed who are renowned for being very good doers. And I've always stripped grazed him this time of year using an electric fence. But this year I haven't been able to because Toffee likes to go straight through electric fences even when they're turned on. And having gone through electric fences on 3 separate occasions without managing to cut himself. How, I'll never know, because that electric fence wire is really quite sharp and rough. Anyway, as a result, I haven't strip grazed Miley this year. Totally my fault. I should have come up with another solution. That's the long and short of it, but you know how it is. You think you're getting away with it, and then you don't get away with it. So he's been on box rest now for about 2 weeks. The farrier came out and took his shoes off him and cut his heels back. That was about 5 days after the laminitis started, and he found a faint digital pulse. I've had to educate myself on how to find a digital pulse because it's not something I've ever really needed to do. Mia has had a couple of bouts of laminitis, and that's basically my only experience of laminitis in 55 years of horse keeping. So it's not something that I'm particularly familiar with. Anyway, I've watched some YouTube videos and I've read a bit of stuff and I've tried to educate myself. Miley's now having soaked hay. He was on the horse age Timothy for the first week, but I think it was a bit rich for him, despite being perfect for for horses with laminitis and low in sugar. I don't know, but it didn't seem to be agreeing with him anyway. So I've thankfully managed to get some hay off my supplier, because I normally only have haylage off him, and I've been soaking that. Bit of an ordeal. It's not so bad this time of year, because you do get soaked trying to get the hay net in and out of the water. It's not ideal this time of year because there's a lack of water and I'm on a spring, so I've been pumping water like fun, but it isn't so bad with regards to getting soaking wet, because I've soaked hay nets in the winter before for Mia, and yeah, not a lot of fun. Not when you get soaking wet trousers in the middle of winter, but hopefully we will be past this by the time we get to winter. I dearly hope so anyway. We are going in the right direction at the moment, I think. So I've changed his feed to Dobson and Horrell Slim Down, and he's having some pink mash. I put everybody on low sugar, and I do have full proper sugar beet there, and grass nuts and mix and horse and pony nuts and all that stuff, and I will use it all through the winter, but not on A, Toffee, or B, Miley, or C, Mia. So Coco's going to get a good feed this winter. About a month ago, I think it was about a month ago, a friend and I hired an outdoor arena for an hour. She wanted to do a bit of schooling and I wanted to do a little bit of jumping, because I never jumped Miley in an arena. I've jumped him out hacking, and I know before me he did some one-day events with his previous owner. And I've seen video footage of that, and he absolutely loves jumping. But he didn't feel right, and after every jump he was trying to sort of, it was like a cross between a buck and a bronc, and he didn't feel right. He just didn't feel right. That's the only thing I can really say. And the arena was quite small as well, so there wasn't a lot of room in there. So I pretty much put it down to that. And then it was a couple of weeks later, about 2 weeks after that I arrived at the farm one morning and thought, oh heck, you're not right. And then I felt for a digital pulse, found a pounding digital pulse, bit of heat in the hooves, and thought, great. True to form, Farrier was on holiday. In all fairness, he came out the day he came back to seek to him to take his shoes off. So I've spent every spare moment I've had fencing a track for him.
Morning breaks over fields of green, steam from a mug, boots by the door, hay in my hair, mud on my jeans. I walked this road 1,000 times before. Dogs at my heels, horses waiting, sun coming up slow again. No one telling me where I should be. I'm riding life on my own reins. I'm living on Soloreins, heart untamed, soul unchained. Through the mud, through the rain, I've learned to stand, I've learned to bend. Coffee strong in days unplanned. This life I built with these two hands. No fence too high, no
I'm really losing the plot now. I don't know what I'm doing. Using my trousers as well. My phone is wet. Just pull them down. I need 2 posts. I think I do.
found my strength in simpler days. Not broken, just a little worn like old leather, better with age. I'm living on Soloreins.
I was going to do just, there's posts there anyway, but they're not all there, and some of them were quite rickety. There's a gate on the end, thankfully. So Miley trashed the rails by the stables, so I needed to replace them anyway. And then I decided to do one rail along the top of the track to replace the posts. And then I was going to do a strand of electric wire underneath. I sent off for a battery replacement for my Soloreins solar fencer, and that's what I was going to use to power it, to stop Toffee from coming onto the track and to stop Miley from going off the track, obviously. I don't know if anybody else has this problem. Does anybody else never have enough of these flipping USB SCART lead plug things? Because I'm constantly running out. So I just found this really rusty minging set. But I am wondering if maybe that bit might fit in there. Let's pull that out. Yeah, so now then, I guess it's just a case of just take them off. Which one do you take off first? Is it the black? I think you take the black off first, don't you? Right. Direct from Soloreins was £19.99 and £5 delivery. Aha! Well, that couldn't be more straightforward. And how does it fix in then? Is there any way for it to fix in? How does it go in there? Okay, here goes. No spark. How are you supposed to shut it? Aha! We got there in the end. But I was about halfway through of putting the top rails on and I had a rethink. Stitching time. If I do the double rails all the way, that'll be job done once and for all. I won't have to worry about electric fences. So I think I'll get the rails, I'll get the nails, I'll get the screws, and I'll put this as a permanent fence along here. So I decided that I would fence 2 rails all the way along and it would be job done, as this is going to be a long-term ongoing thing. And yeah, so where we are at the moment is I haven't let him out on the track yet. He's been on box rest now for 2 weeks. I've been using wood pellets as bedding for the first time. I bought some a while ago to use in the horse box and I wasn't that impressed with them, but apparently they are recommended, highly recommended for horses with laminitis, because you want it to pack inside the hoof to support the foot, and apparently they're the best for that. And I did find that the shavings I put down under him were just moving out of the way too easily, because he wasn't picking his feet up, he was sort of dragging his feet about, and then he was ending up, he was on the rubber mat again, which I didn't want. The straw bed he's got in there is really thick, but again it doesn't pack inside his hooves. So we switched over to wood pellets. Bit of a strange product, but £9 a bag, but then £9 a bag for a bale of shavings anyway, and I do find them, they do give a nice cushion, which is really good at the moment. The upside of all this is that Toffee now has more freedom, because he's the one who's out the most now. Well, Miley's not out at all, but even when he is out for a while now, he will be let out in the day rather than the night, and Toffee will have the bulk of the time outside. as he's a young horse and he's growing, hopefully the grass won't be a problem for him. But I've changed him onto low sugar as well, and hopefully, well, I'm hoping that will help with the brain, but it doesn't seem to be so far. What are you doing? Huh? Well, I don't know what you're snorting at. You're the one who's trashing the place. You all right, Moo? Did he scare you? Oh, honestly, I don't know what on earth I'm supposed to do with you. You can bloody huff and puff, you nutter. And I did hope that the extra time outside, like 18 out of 24 hours, might have calmed the brain down a bit as well, but nope, doesn't seem to be. Default setting still seems to be destruct mode. I've come to the conclusion that he's got a very active, intelligent brain, and he just gets bored very, very easily. He needs a lot of stimulation. I've never kept a Welsh cob or an Appaloosa, so I have no idea if this is breed specific. Perhaps if anybody could enlighten me on that, I'd very much appreciate it. If any of you out there have got cobs or Appaloosas, and this is perfectly normal. I've got a history of keeping Arabs and thoroughbreds who are renowned for being highly strung, but I've never had one like this before. I can honestly say that, hand on heart. In 55 years of horse keeping, I've never had a Toffee. So yeah, I don't know where that's going to take us. I think he belongs in the circus, to be honest with you. So anyway, thank you for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed this little update, and if you want to find out more of Toffee's antics and how Miley recuperates and what the future holds for Coco, then please subscribe, please like, please comment with any of your questions, and I'll see you all soon. Take care, everybody. Bye for now.
Another day I chose myself again.